Welcome to Taylor's Insights, where we unravel the complexities shaping our world. Today, we delve into a topic sparking considerable debate in India: one nation, one election. What does it propose, and what are its implications? Let us explore. The One Nation, One Election initiative has been a focal point of intense political debate in India. Recently approved by the Union Cabinet, the proposal seeks to synchronize elections for the Lok Sabha, state assemblies, municipal bodies, and panchayats within a 100-day window. While proponents hail it as a groundbreaking reform to enhance efficiency and governance, critics argue it poses significant risks to India's federal and democratic fabric. In this analysis, we unpack the proposal's features, assess the arguments on both sides, and explore its implications for Indian democracy. The framework of one nation, one election is grounded in significant constitutional and administrative reforms. Simultaneous elections. General elections for the Lok Sabha and state assemblies would be aligned, followed by local body polls. This creates an electoral cycle aiming for greater synchronization across India. Shortened terms for assemblies. Newly formed state assemblies may have truncated terms to match the next general elections. A high-level oversight body will monitor the process and ensure seamless implementation. Unified voter roll. The initiative proposes amendments to ensure a common voter ID and electoral roll, improving efficiency in voter management. Hung House resolution. In case of hung assemblies, interim elections will be held with terms aligned to the subsequent general elections. Structural amendments. Proposals include introducing Article 324A for synchronized local body polls and amending Article 325 for voter roll unification. The earliest practicable implementation, post-legislative approval, is forecasted for 2034. However, this ambitious timeline hinges on substantial constitutional amendments, legislative consensus, and robust planning. Advocates of the proposal assert that it can transform India's electoral process by addressing financial inefficiencies, policy disruptions, and voter fatigue. Let's examine their claims under the analytical lens. Cost efficiency. Holding multiple elections across different timelines incurs substantial government expenditure. Consolidating them into a single cycle promises significant savings, which could be redirected to development projects. Policy continuity. Frequent elections disrupt governance due to the recurring imposition of the Model Code of Conduct, MCC. Simultaneous elections ensure uninterrupted developmental activities, reducing delays and policy paralysis. Improved voter turnout. Consolidating elections simplifies the voting process, potentially increasing voter participation and engagement, while reducing fatigue across frequent polling seasons. Economic stability. Election schedules often disrupt productivity, supply chains, and workforce mobility. Synchronizing polls would mitigate these disruptions, promoting economic stability and efficiency. While these arguments underscore laudable objectives, they remain incomplete without addressing systemic and structural pitfalls. Critics have vocally opposed the proposal, questioning its democratic, federal, and practical implications. Numerous political parties, including Congress, AAP, DMK, and TMC, have raised concerns. The key criticisms are: erosion of federalism. Synchronizing elections could dilute regional representation and diminish the ability of states to focus on localized issues. Many argue it prioritizes central agendas over regional aspirations, challenging the federal structure of Indian democracy. Logistical challenges. India's electoral ecosystem, with its massive voter base and geographical diversity, presents considerable operational complexities. Ensuring voter access, especially for marginalized communities, remains a formidable hurdle. Priority misplacement. Critics contend that the government should concentrate on pressing concerns such as education, healthcare, and unemployment rather than electoral reforms. Credibility issues. Concerns around the transparency and reliability of electronic voting machines, EVMs, must be addressed to build public trust in such a large-scale reform. The impartiality of the Election Commission has been questioned, with critics citing the increasing influence of the ruling government. Restoring the credibility of democratic institutions is imperative before contemplating sweeping changes. With 22 scheduled languages and a plethora of regional identities, synchronized elections risk homogenizing political narratives, undermining India's multicultural and pluralistic democracy. These objections hint at deeper issues that go beyond immediate logistical concerns, raising existential questions about the nature and objectives of India's electoral system. The central argument for one nation, one election emerges from the economic and logistical benefits it promises. However, democracy is a process that prioritizes representation over efficiency. Frequent elections, while resource-intensive, enable citizens to engage actively with issues across multiple levels of governance. Simultaneous elections may centralize political discourse, overshadowing state and local issues. State elections, which are essential for reflecting regional priorities, could be influenced by national narratives, altering voter perception and decision-making. Transitioning to a unified electoral system requires substantial legal and procedural overhauls. Synchronizing terms across states and local bodies necessitates truncation or extension of tenures, raising governance challenges during interim periods. This could destabilize democratic processes and weaken accountability mechanisms. The success of one nation, one election depends on carefully navigating constitutional frameworks, institutional readiness, and political consensus. While the draft bill is poised to be tabled in Parliament during the winter session, its journey toward implementation necessitates deeper deliberation. Notably, the proposal should prioritize reforms that enhance transparency, accessibility, and integrity within India's existing electoral framework. Policy dialogue can also explore alternatives, such as phase-clubbed elections or rolling MCC reforms, which address concerns around cost efficiency and policy continuity without jeopardizing federalism. The One Nation, One Election proposal presents an ambitious roadmap for restructuring India's electoral processes. While advocates emphasize its potential to streamline governance and reinforce economic stability, critics urge a more cautious approach, prioritizing India's diversity and decentralized governance. For political enthusiasts, this debate epitomizes the complexity of policymaking in a vibrant democracy like India, balancing innovative reforms with the foundational tenets of federalism and representation. Ultimately, the initiative poses a critical question: should logistical efficiency ever outweigh inclusivity and pluralism in a democratic setup? For now, the answer lies in continuing democratic discourse and ensuring inclusive policy deliberations. If this video captivates your interest, be sure to subscribe to our channel, appreciate our content with a thumbs up, and share the experience with your friends.